Welcome to Physics 2. In this course we continue our study of physics after Physics 1. In Physics 1 you should have covered at least general mechanics, velocity, acceleration, forces, conservation of energy, conservation of momentum, rotation, rotational energy, rotational momentum, torques and rotation, Newton's laws as applied to rotational objects, Newton's law of universal gravitation, orbits, simple harmonic motion. In this course we study fluids, waves, thermodynamics, electricity and magnetism, some relativity, some optics, and some quantum mechanics. Just touching on some of those topics, especially the later ones. This is a distance course. As a distance course, a lot of burden lies on the student. You have to set aside the time to do the work. This course is a lot of work. If you assume that you're going to spend the equivalent of the 6 hours that you spend in class, the 6 hours that you spend out of class, little more, little less, depending on whether you're in Physics 122, 242, or 202. And we'll talk about the differences between those courses in a minute. You need to spend that much time. You need to spend the time on the problem sets, you need to spend the time on the experiments, and you especially need to spend time communicating with me, your instructor, because that is what's going to substitute for a lot of the experiences you'll get in class. And of course you'll be going over the lectures and the videotaped lectures. There should be approximately 15 hours of videotaped lectures and some more time spent on discussing experiments on the CDs that you are receiving and will in the future receive. Again, let me stress how important it is for you to communicate with me regularly. You communicate by email. We work out the communications protocols at the beginning of the semester. That takes us about a week, and as a result the course usually works on about a 1-week delay. If you've had the first semester of physics with me with these kinds of courses, then you know pretty much what to expect and you can pretty much just jump into things. Okay, again, let me stress, responsibility is on you to do the work and to communicate with the instructor and to submit your work on schedule and so forth. If you don't set aside a regular time to do that, there's a very, very high chance that you're not going to succeed. If you do manage to set aside the time and to spend the time that's required to complete this course, there's a very high probability that you will succeed. Now let's just talk briefly about the mathematical demands of the various courses. If you've had the first semester of physics, you pretty much know what the mathematical demands are. For a Physics 121 and 122 course, you should have a good command of simple algebra, and you should have good number sense, or at least be in a position where you can develop good number sense. You should be well grounded in arithmetic and very basic algebra. Of course, your prerequisites are Algebra 1 and Algebra 2, or Algebra 1 and geometry. And you should also know the basic facts of geometry, things like areas of figures and properties of certain types of figures and so forth. Okay, Physics 201, where there's a prerequisite of pre-calculus, and actually I treat that as a co-requisite as long as you're taking the courses together. You should be okay. You should have moderately good algebra skills up to the level of Algebra 2. You should understand or be in the process of developing an understanding of the characteristics of graphs and the characteristics of various functions as you do in a pre-calculus course. For Physics 241 and 242, which is a calculus-based course, you have to understand simple derivatives and integrals, the concept of derivatives and rates, and the concepts of integrals and summation. And those things should ring a bell if you've taken or are taking a calculus course. You should be exposed to those ideas. In the next clip, we'll talk briefly about some of the things that you can expect to learn in the course, and then later on we'll talk more about the structure of the course and exactly how you should approach developing the understanding that you need to succeed in this course.